What's up, Cardfighters? Clark here from Vanguard Central, coming at you with an updated Brawler Deck Profile.
Stand up, Vanguard!
Starting off with our starter, we run Lizard Soldier Seishin just to retire our opponent's starter, throw off their game plan a little bit, and to fill soul with it, because we do use a bit of soul in our deck with turbo. But Seishin is one of the best starters. Never a real big issue in using the grade 3 searcher, but Seishin is great. Anyways, grade 1's 4 PGGs, self-explanatory, just to unflip more damage. Then we run 4 Stride Fodder to hold our 3s in our hand, just in case we want a Legion. In some points we can just ditch the Stride Fodder for that. Then I do run 4 Secret Fizz Brawler Kakon. To stack power, he'll essentially always be a 10k booster as long as your Vanguard hits. Obviously they have to have Brawler in their name, but the grade 3s do. So Kakon makes really good numbers on turbo play, or even with Chatera, making it instant 21 if you hit. And we do run 1 Rising Chicken, or Rising Phoenix, just for that Soul Blast 2 and draw. In case we're not getting enough cards to hand, we can just drop the Phoenix, grab an extra card, and fill our drop zone for Legion, right? Onto our grade 2s, run 2 Big Bang slash Dragon. He's really good on turbo play as long as you hit at least a decent amount of field, or on Legion plays, of course, when you're hitting the entire field. Putting Kakon and the trigger on him just makes him even fatter and almost an unblockable column, but he's a decent card. Just run him at 2 because he's not the main unit you want to Legion if you're on the different grade 3, but otherwise Legion is never bad. Then we run 3 Brawler Big Bang slash Buster. He's always an 11k as long as you have a Vanguard with Big Bang Knuckle, and he gains +3 if your Vanguard with Big Bang Knuckle and its name hits. So he essentially gets fat too when you're on turbo, or if you're on that Legion play. He's just a consistent attacker overall. Then we have 3 Demonic Dragon Berserker Chatera. I wish I could play 4. I'll definitely try to find room, but the grade 2s are very, very tight. But Chatera is really great because he applies that pressure. You don't really need to hit rear guard just because you're essentially retiring most of the time. But Chatera does do work as an 11k attacker, so Conquest plays. If your opponent's front row is free, he's 21 on his own, and if he hits, he gets you to draw a card and bind a card. So that's good because you need to bind some units in this deck just for the G-Guard to go off and gain +5k, but Chatera is great, always applying good pressure. Then we have 4 Brawler Sky Howl Dragon for the extra retire in the front row against titles, Blaster Darks, Broken Hearts, of course. Any pesky rear guard that we just need to get rid of. Normally you'll just hold it off in case your opponent has 2 rear guards in the front row for Conquest play, so you get 1 from Conquest, 1 from Sky Howl, making your 10k free for 1 CB essentially. Onto our grade 3s, we have 4 Brawler Big Bang Knuckle Dragon. The main guy you don't want to ride, obviously. He can only hit the front row, which is kind of lame, but you mainly use him for the name and for the cross ride. And next we have 4 Brawler Big Bang Knuckle Buster, the man who destroys all fields, basically. Main guy you want to Legion with, just because he also gets cross ride, so it's very good defensively, because it kind of makes your G Guardians 28 instead of just 26, so pretty good, out of reach of your opponent, but otherwise you're mainly using him to hit the field in case you need to Legion late game, and for turbo name, but really good and consistent card. Starting off with our G Zone, we run 1 Seabreeze to get our GB2 early in case your opponent misses grade 3, anything like that. Then we go ahead with 2 Lightning Dragon Knight Zorus to fill the bind zone of your opponent and apply that on hit retire pressure. So really good. I like him at 2. Use him for unflip for turbo, but he's good at 2. Then we run 1 of the new guy, Conquering Supreme Dragon, Vault Sapper Dragon. I think he's a lot better in Vanquisher, just because that bind zone is going to be so fat. You get a crazy super retire when the unit attacks. So your front row is going to be fat, and you never really have to commit a whole field. You get a free 10k basically for 1 CB. Then we run 4 Conquering Supreme Dragon, Conquest Dragon, Conquistador Dragon. Anyways, his skill is an act. If you unflip a copy of itself, you just retire a unit in the front row, basically free. And for each open rearguard column in the front row, your front row gains +5. So if you have 2 open, he hits for 36 by himself, and then your rear guards become a little bit fatter. So basically one of the finishers of the deck. Really good, really consistent. Like I said earlier, combo with Sky Howl Dragon. Make things easier on yourself. Then we run, for now, I run 4 True Brawler Big Bang Knuckle Turbo. Mainly just to hit field and never really have to commit a field too much, and make it harder for your opponent to think twice about putting down more than 3 units, because if you Legion, then you hit the whole board every single time. So Turbo's in there to also power up your rear guards like Slash Buster, or just stack the crits on top of them. But otherwise, Turbo is very consistent. I like that pressure that he brings along, especially when you have a couple of them in the stride zone flipped up. Onto our G Guardians, I run 3 Lightning King Spirit Emperor Vitra. Skill is Thunderstrike 1. This unit gets +5k if your opponent has 1 or more in the bind zone. So it's kind of tough to get off if you don't have a Zorus that hits or a Chatterer that hits, but as long as you have 1, you'll always have a 20k shield, so that's okay. It's just more consistent in Vanguard, like I said earlier. So hopefully Brawlers does get a better G Guardian in the future. And the other G Guard I run is just 1 Metal Element Screw. Of course, just for the added 10k. I don't run Dismal because I don't feel that I need to put any of my units in that resist mode. I'm always going to be making my opponent like minus, essentially, if they have to drop their hand to fill fields. So if I'm killing it every turn, it's fine. I can live with that. Onto our triggers, we do run 4 heal trigger, of course, Brawler, just for the name specific. And for our G guarding potential, then we run 5 of the Brawler triggers. For extra draw, I might change it to 6/6. Just need to do a little more testing, just because Brawlers is a little bit slower now, especially in this meta. They need to be able to draw into their pieces a little bit quicker, so the draw triggers will definitely help that. And for crit triggers, we do run 7, and I run 3 Malevolent Dijin. Put this unit into Soul and give it +3, so you're just making a little bit better numbers with Sky Howl or Slash Buster in case they didn't get any power-ups from their Vanguard. And then 4 of the Brawler trigger, Brawler Street Flight Dragon from set 5. Basically, you put them back into the deck, so you're shuffling back a trigger, which is good. Then you choose up to your one of your rear guards with Brawler in its name, and until the end of turn, when your Vanguard attack hits, this unit gets +3000 until end of turn, and then you shuffle, obviously. But combos really well with any of your other Brawlers if you know you're going to hit with your Vanguard. Really good on turbo plays, really good with Slash Buster, really good with Kakan. So Street Fly makes those push plays a little bit better. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below. Anything that'll make Brawlers better. I know they're a little slow right now, but they are a very, very good anti-meta deck. Otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed. Vanguard Central out.